Chris Spielman, who plays a very integral and yet quiet role with the Lions, is on the line with us and on StreamYard with us right now. Hey, Chris.
Hey, good morning. How is everybody?
Everybody's doing good out here. This is early for us, but I'm thinking for you, you've always been an early guy. You've been up for like 5 hours working out already.
Exactly. Well, actually 4 hours and 2 minutes. So yeah, you're right on it.
What time do you go to bed in order to wake up at 4:30?
I fall asleep at this time of year to the Hallmark Christmas movies about 9:00, 9:50.
Is that what puts you to sleep? Or?
Yeah. How can it not? I already know how it's going to end. So it's all good. The guy always gets the girl. So we're good.
The guy gets the girl, exactly. And then snow falls and then the tree, and then we go to the clouds, and that's the end. First of all, I want to thank you for taking time to talk to us, Chris. And I also want to say that, congratulations and how much fun it must be. It's a lot of fun for the fans, but I can only imagine how much fun it must be for you who bled Honolulu Blue for so long as a player to be part of, a 12-1 team that really has legitimate Super Bowl claims. I mean, it's got to be a special kind of fun for you.
Well, the fun is to see the success and the joy in Sheila and Rod and Brad and Dan, the whole coaching staff, all the work that they put in, and the belief that they had in what our philosophy was and why we hired who we hired, and to see that kind of pay off. Now, it hasn't paid off ultimately, but we're getting better and keep improving. That's the joy that I have. And I said, Mitch, when we first talked, I remember, I think you and I first talked the night I took the job, or soon thereafter, where I did say that, I've climbed my mountain, man, and the joy that I get is being a part of helping other people reach where they want to go, and I just get to go along that journey with them. So that's been the cool part for me.
Can you imagine Chris Spielman, the player, with Dan Campbell, the coach?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It probably would look a lot like Jack Campbell, and because and just I just think that Dan epitomizes what football is and how I would define it. I think that it's a game that needs to be respected. It's a game that needs to have sacrifice by the players to make it good, to make it right, to make it true. And I think the message that he gives to the team, and the cool thing is how all the players respond to his message, and the only way that they respond to his message is that he's authentic in how he presents it. He's authentic in how he approaches each and every single day, because as players, you look for a guy to have some inconsistencies. He's so consistent. Guys believe in him. And guess what? The message that he's preached is working. So that's why you can get 5 guys off the couch on a Sunday and come in here and perform on a Thursday good enough to win a football game like we did last week.
It's just incredible. I mean, they were wearing "Hello, my name is" stickers. You're on our team, right? Okay, go cover that guy. And yet they won. And is there any concern that that's going to bite them eventually? I mean, you can still only lose so many players, and now you're taking on Buffalo, which has got an amazing offense. I think there are a lot of fans that privately worry, like, oh, maybe the Magic's going to end this week, just not because the Lions aren't great, but because you can only miss so many players.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, so when you're in a situation like we're in, then the offense understands that, okay, we have to be extra good. We can't turn the ball over. We got to score a certain amount of points. We got to be so good on third downs. Special teams, when called upon, they have to pin them back. If we decide to punt, who knows? If we do punt, then we got to be able to pin them back. And then when you have the big thing is, and we're pretty good at this all year, and I think Ben and his staff do a great job, is our red zone offense has been pretty solid since the loss to Tampa, which I think we were 1 for 6 or whatever it was against Tampa Bay. All year has been pretty good. And so I think, yes, you're at a disadvantage when you don't have Aiden Hutchinson, or you don't have Alex Anzalone, or you're missing a number of other guys, Davenport, who was off to a really good start before he got hurt. But those guys, I was just talking to Ray Agnew, our great assistant GM, and I hope Ray gets an interview this year. He certainly deserves it. Is that, the one thing that never changes, Mitch, is that when you are able to get guys that love the game, have the athletic ability, have the competes, you can hang with anybody. And we've been able to do it. Like if you watched last week's game on Sunday and how we were able to do that, is that AG did a great job. And it looked like a hockey game where the lineups, I don't know if you saw 5 guys run in, 5 guys run off. Yeah. How we were able to do that and get those guys ready to play. So, yes, is it more challenging to a very long answer to a short question? Absolutely more challenging. But when you have a team that's pretty healthy on the offensive side, they know they got to wear the harder hat. And they've done a pretty good job with that, putting 34 points up last week.
I wanted to ask you, we keep hearing about your integral role with the Lions. And, when Sheila's interviewed or some of the other people, so it's so great to have Chris. But you never appear, like you're really quiet and whatever it is you're doing. So what is it that you're doing? I know it's significant, but you're so humble that you probably don't want to talk about it. But can you just sum it up in a sentence?
Yeah, I'll sum it up this. I'm an outsider on the inside. And sometimes if you're an outsider on the inside, you're the first to see it. You're the first to be able to validate something, or you're the first to be able to say, hey, you might want to look at this. And so I have a lot of freedom around here and a lot of open, honest conversations with all parties involved. And that allows me to validate or maybe raise a concern. And what people do with that information is up to them. But I think it's a unique role, and it's a role that, frankly, I could not have had or could not execute if I weren't part of the team that hired the coach and the GM.
Right.
So that's everything.
That's what I would. I mean, you look at like the Bears or the Jets. 2 jobs are open now. Any other jobs? And I've kind of heard some people ask the same question that you asked, Mitch. What is it that he does? And the thing you have to do is that you have to have somebody that comes in that has the team first mentality. I get all that, no personal agenda, and that you have to have open and honest conversations and not be afraid to. And it's hard to do that if you're constantly answering to somebody. But in that being, everybody knows that I have no goal to be the general manager of the Detroit Lions. I have no goal to be the head coach of the Detroit Lions. My only goal is to lift and support.
You're doing a great job. He was filling divots in one day. I was out at training camp. He had the bucket.
Well, I want to make myself valuable. Like I did learn a lesson. My dad always taught me, man, whenever you have an opportunity, make yourself useful. And
you're filling in the divots on the practice field, Chris.
Well, Spielman. Yeah. Our landscaping crew is awesome. So
no job too small, no job too big. Yeah. Well, Chris, we go way back, and I know you to be not only a fantastic player and football guy, but I know you'd be a man with a big heart. And I've watched you raise money for very important charities and cancer causes and things like that. And we're raising money here today to help needy Detroiters, as we do with Say Detroit every year. And I thank you for helping us support it and giving a shout out to everybody in Detroit to give and help those less fortunate.
Yeah, I think, look, if you're in a position to do so, I only speak for myself that I've lived a life of learning about receiving when I was younger, obviously, then when I was given position and be able to make some money in my life with football or opportunities that have come my way. I always wore my old cleats. That's never forget where you came from or how you got where you are. Right. And I think this event that you do every year, Mitch, and your team is the epitome of what you give will grow and what you keep, you lose. If you give it away, it'll grow, spread, and prosper. If you keep it all to yourself, it eventually dries and dies, and you'll end up losing it. So why not give to people that will
Beautifully said. Beautifully said, Chris. Thank you for coming on. God bless you. Best of luck, and we'll see you. We'll see you at the Buffalo game.
All right. Merry Christmas. God bless you. Happy New Year.
Chris Spielman from the Lions here on 760 WJR.